What's up, everyone? I'm Jacob, back again for the last time with the Palkia Calyrex Ice-Rider team that I used to win the Skydrop Series tournament a couple of weekends ago. I've had so much fun with this team so far, but my one regret is that all of the videos that I've made with it have been just so long. It was the hour-long movie the first time. Last video I posted, I had, 2 games pretty much go-to timer. So the goal in this one is to go fast, win games quickly, and just be aggressive. This is one of the few times that I'm recording the introduction before the battles. So I just wanted to give you kind of a sense of where my head was at. Going through, just playing through the battles that I'm about to play. Gonna go quick, gonna be aggressive, and I'm, gonna hopefully get some wins. We'll see. This is, not the play style that you're supposed to go with for this team, but gonna have a lot of fun regardless. Real quick though, question of the day. As I'm finishing up with this team, I've got a couple more ideas, but I want to get a sense for what you all think. Is question of the day: what restricted pair or what Pokemon should I try to build around next? Is there anything in particular that you want to see on this channel? Could be anything. I think eventually I'll probably build a Sandshrew or Sandslash team. But other than that, just let me know down in the comment section below. Leave a like, drop a sub, helps me out a ton. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, first battle of the day, and it's double weather. Torkoal, Kyogre, we've got Calyrex-Shadow Rider, Zapdos, and a Grimmsnarl. The Venusaur's a little spooky. I think Tapu Fini could be really, really good here. Just to block some sleep powders. But that's really all that Fini can do, and if they don't bring Venusaur... Well, if they don't bring Venusaur, then Fini's actually in a pretty good spot because I don't take too much damage from the rest of the team. I want to have Fini as a switch-in, I think. I think P2 Palkia is pretty free with Calyrex Fini. I could go a Moongus over Porygon 2, but I think the Eerie Impulses are going to be really nice on P2. And Foul Play as good damage into Calyrex is also nice. This also means that 3 of the 4 Pokemon I'm bringing do carry Trick Room, which is always good for this team. But again, we are trying to go as fast as possible this video, trying to speed through it, so hopefully, we can get some quick wins. Hopefully this one doesn't drag on too long, and let's see. So it is Zapdos, Grimmsnarl. Every time you see Zap and a Grimm next to each other, you should just assume that's the lead. This does mean that we are probably going to be able to get Trick Room up. I kind of want to go Calyrex Ice-Rider immediately for Palkia here, because if we can get Trick Room and Calyrex on the field at the same time, we can just steamroll. I don't think that that's the best play though, because, well, yeah, we're trying to go fast. We also did see that Porygon 2 trace Prankster, so we get some Prankster recovers, Prankster Eerie Impulses, which is always super nice. So let's Trick Room and let's go hard into that Calyrex. We shouldn't take too much damage from a Dynamax Zapdos, and this again could be that Eerie Impulse Zapdos. So yeah, that would really ruin Palkia if we try to max that turn 1 too. So see how this goes. The Zapdos is gonna max, likely a max Lightning into the Palkia slot. We should take that pretty well with Calyrex. The only thing that could really mess us up this turn is if Grimmsnarl is taunt. So if they taunt our Porygon 2, we are not in a great spot. They could also Fake Out too, it's probably more likely. But it's just gonna be Fake Tears. Who's that? Is that into Calyrex? That's into Porygon. I think we still take a Max Lightning. Or an Airstream, either one. Even with Fake Tears. We just barely do. Oh, wow. Let's go, Porygon 2. Yeah, 5 HP left, and they are Life Orb. Yeah, that makes perfect sense with that amount of damage, and we get the Trick Room up. Beautiful. So we do know that it's not the standard dual screen set with Grimmsnarl. With Porygon 2, do I want to stick around? I'm at -2 special defense. I think they have to target on Calyrex this turn. I might just max Calyrex immediately. I could also go P2. We're going to be aggressive this game, I think. I think we go P2 out into Palkia. We save Porygon for a late game just sack at this point, really. But it would be out to Palkia and just click Glacial Lance here. Should do plenty of damage to both of them. They could try to fake Tears and Max Lightning into the Calyrex, but that's fine because even though we won't survive the max attack from Zapdos if we're at -2, as they just get Reflect Up, that works too. That's absolutely fine by me. Because we're still going to do some big damage with Glacial Lance, probably still a 2-hit KO on Zapdos, it looks like it is, and definitely a 2-hit KO on Grimmsnarl as they flare into the Palkia. Beautiful. Yeah, fast-paced. I mean, that's what this team's all about, you know? I've said it all, every other video I've made with this team is they just go fast. That's what they do. There's no point in me Dynamaxing Palkia this turn because I'm just going to get KOs with Calyrex. So I'm going to Earth Power into the Grimmsnarl slot and just click Glacial Lance again. Lance should KO both this turn as they do max guard with Zapdos. And a fake Tears here is fine. Who's that going to go into? It goes into Calyrex. Cool, because Palkia is my Dynamax option. And we get our Glacial Lance off. It's going to go into the Grimmsnarl, should KO. Beautiful. And we don't waste a Dynamax turn with Palkia. Now, if it is their 2 restricteds in the back, then Palkia just has a field day here in this endgame. Because we don't have to worry about Spirit Breaks, we don't have to worry about fake Tears, and we can just keep boosting our special defense. Cool. This has gone super well, as it's Torkoal. I guess that's the Trick Room answer. Okay. Torkoal's actually a little annoying. Let's see, 2 turns left to Trick Room. They did drop one of the restricteds. Probably Kyogre. So it's probably Calyrex-Shadow Rider in the back. As there are 2 turns left to Trick Room again. This Zapdos... Yeah, I'm going to max Geyser into the Torkoal and Protect with Calyrex here. Because, I mean, their play would be to, you know, Eruption or maybe Heat Wave, depending on what the speed tiers are. Torkoal should be slower than Calyrex. We are min speed, but Torkoal is, if their min speed, should be slower. But we do still have our max. Their Torkoal's not going to be able to do too much damage into Palkia, which is nice. And if we can not only get the rain up, but just deal big damage to Torkoal, then yeah, it is just Heat Wave. Yeah, if we can just deal damage to Torkoal here, I think we're in a great spot. As you see, you know, Quad Resist, Palkia Max Geyser. Aggressive play's paying off for this team. That might just... It came close. Came close to KO. They could be like a Choice Specs variant. But we do get the rain up too. And Zapdos, I mean, could have predicted that and gone for like Hurricane. But it's just a second Heat Wave. Wow. Wow. So again, nothing into Palkia. The only downside here is that I am going to, again, waste a turn of my Dynamax with Palkia. It's the last turn of Trick Room. Because Calyrex is just going to click Glacial Lance here. I could go high horsepower into Torkoal and then Geyser, but that doesn't really do much for me. So I'm going to Quake into the Torkoal slot and Glacial Lance. Actually, I mean, because Zapdos could Protect here, and Geyser should KO through Protect. So I think Geyser into the Zapdos is always the better play. Because, yeah, we do see the Protect. I would think Geyser KOs through Protect here. As they're going to Yawn. This is the last turn of Trick Room, but I can get Electric Terrain up next turn. Yeah, I can get Electric Terrain up next turn. So that's nice. Always feels good. As it is likely the Calyrex in the back. Let's see if we do get this KO with our Max Geyser. Because if we KO Zapdos through the Protect here, I think we're in a great spot. And we do. Perfect. because it does a quarter of the damage, and Geyser should one-hit Zapdos, especially a Life Orb variant that likely doesn't have any bulk. So what do they do here? If it is Calyrex, it makes sense. They can click Astral Barrage. Unless they're Life Orb, I don't think they KO my Calyrex with an Astral. I am going to max Lightning so that Palkia doesn't fall asleep, and click Trick Room again. Their play would be, try to stall out my last turn of Dynamax with Palkia by clicking Protect, but if they do that, I punished that super heavily with Trick Room here. If they just click Astral Barrage, then I deal big damage with my Palkia, and they do KO Calyrex. We'll see what if they do show, or we know they're not. We know that they are not Life Orb. They do get the Grimnay boost, but since we say Porygon 2, we're gonna force them to go for a different move. Max Lightning does big damage, so that's nice. We're gonna force them to click not Astral Barrage next turn. Show us what the rest of the moves are, as they're buried. They're Citrus Berry. Oh, wow. Citrus Berry. Okay. Calyrex shouldn't... Yeah, Calyrex doesn't have any other spread moves that it usually runs, except for the Astral Barrage. So we can pretty safely here... Foul Play should, if not KO, do a ton. They could click Astral Barrage, and at +1 that should KO Palkia, but Foul Play is going to do too much damage in return. So I'll click Trick Room with Palkia, and Foul Play here. Depending if they are Snarl, so that's going to KO my P2, but it does mean that we get Trick Room up. Yeah, are they using that... I mean, it's not Leftovers, so it's not the Moxie-boosted TM Incineroar 2. That copyrighted set. If it's not copyrighted, by now it should be. But, yeah, so they're at +2. So I do think I have to just go for the KO this turn. The question is... what is a better play? Do I go Nature's Madness plus Thunder? Because Thunder never misses, but I do have to hit my Nature's Madness, which is 90% accurate, or do I go Moonblast plus... Does Moonblast plus Thunder KO? They're at +2, so they probably knock out Feeny, just straight up. I would think Moonblast plus Thunder KOs, because Thunder is not that much weaker than Max Lightning. That only did half, but that would mean that Moonblast just has to do... I'm not convinced. I'm going to go Nature's Madness. I do have to hit a Nature's Madness here. Cool. We hit the Nature's Madness. I think that does more than Moonblast in this scenario, and Thunder should be able to pick up this KO. It doesn't. And they just reverse Trick Room. So, I mean, it still comes down to if they KO Feeny with a +2 Astral Barrage, and I think they do. Dang. This bulky Calyrex coming through in the back. That's a bummer. Because I think this does KO Feeny. But it doesn't! Oh, we're so bulky. Feeny's so bulky. Let's go. Oh, I was so down. I was so down. But let's go. Okay. And that's why you just use bulky Pokemon. The Moonblast last turn then, knowing that I survive an Astral Barrage, probably was the right play. But we come through in the end, and there's not as quick as I would have liked, but still reasonably fast for this team. So let's get on to the next one. Alright, second battle of the day, and unfortunately it doesn't look like this is going to be the quickest battle in the world, as they have the Eternatus and Yveltal and Chansey. Just a big stall core. Blastoise is super bulky, Incin's going to knock down my Calyrex, and Rillaboom is always a little spooky. But If we get Trick Room up, Calyrex does look phenomenal here. So, that's going to be the goal. I think P2 Palkia is another great lead. Amoonguss Palkia could be really solid here too. Although I don't really want to give up too much damage turn 1. But I think Amoonguss Palkia is pretty solid. Is it better than Porygon 2? Because P2 also has the Eerie Impulse pressure that we can put on, and we can just sit on the field. But I think Amoonguss is a little bit more aggressive. Amoonguss allows for us to play a little bit faster. And we can still bring P2 in the back. I think Feeny could be really good here because it beats the Yveltal, it beats Eternatus pretty well. It's another Dragon Resist. So I think we are going to go that way. Again, P2 is really intriguing here, but yeah. I think Feeny probably offers us more based on what I think they're going to go with. I think they're going to bring 2 Restricteds, Incin, and probably the Rillaboom. I'm really hoping they just don't bring Chansey, but I think they could. I think Chansey over Rillaboom makes a lot of sense here too, because that would just allow them to win a late game. And it is going to be Incin Blastoise. Okay, that is pretty fine by me. Yeah, I mean, I have the opportunity to just click a Max Geyser into the Incin turn 1. And again, if I get rid of the Incineroar, presuming, both Restricteds in the back, or at least one of the Restricteds, plus, really anything else, Calyrex Ice-Rider just has a field day if I can eliminate the Incineroar. So let's... I don't think Amoonguss is under too much pressure here, other than, like, a Fake Out. But if they Fake Out my Amoonguss, they shouldn't be able to do too much damage to it. So, let's go Spore onto the Blastoise, and just Max Geyser the Incineroar. They could try to play things pretty slow this turn, like switch Incin out and try to, like, yawn into my Palkia, as they do switch out Incin. It's going to go into Eternatus, or Yveltal. That still is going to take a lot. That still is going to take a lot of damage here. And Blastoise is either going to click Fake Out or Yawn this turn. Either of those I'm fine with, because a Yawn, I can just click Max Lightning next turn, or a Fake Out doesn't really get them too far. They could Fake Out Amoonguss potentially, but not too worried about that, as they do just max the Blastoise. So we're going to put this guy to sleep. Yeah, I mean, maxing a Blastoise opposite a Palkia and Amoonguss, I know what they're going with, the idea that they're just going to try to get, G-Max Cannonade up so that I can't ever bring Calyrex in super safely. But, we're just going to do too much damage to this Yveltal here. We'll see if they're Assault Vest. They're definitely not. Definitely not AV. Oh, wow. And Blastoise is just going to go to sleep here. They could try to Hailstorm. Yeah. Into the Amoonguss. But that shouldn't knock us out. Blastoise isn't that strong. Yeah. So, sleepy time for Blastoise. They are... if we get a 2-turn sleep, they're just not going to get Cannonade up, which would be ideal. So... let us... I mean, we will see the Yveltal is faster. Yeah, the Yveltal is faster than Palkia, Blastoise, Amoonguss. The rest of the order. Yveltal's going to go down to Hail after another turn, it looks like. So I'm fine just protecting Amoonguss. Actually, I want to get the Regenerator. So let's go out to Tapu Fini, get the regen on Amoonguss, and just max Quake into Blastoise. They could switch Yveltal out here. They don't. So it is just going to go down. Yeah, I mean, their play would either be like Oblivion Wing into the Amoonguss or Snarl. Both of which this play covers. Because, I don't think I'm going to knock out the Blastoise. Sky Attack. Are they Power Herb? Are they Physical Power Herb? That's crazy. That's insane. They're not... Oh, no. They're not Power Herb. So they're just gonna faint this turn. Wow. I mean, I know at the beginning of the video I said I wanted to play fast. And I feel like, you know, I've got a lot of energy now, too. Like, I feel like I'm talking really fast, too. But, yeah, my opponent's just giving me free KOs, too. Oh, wow. I definitely do want to keep the Misty Terrain up, because their play could be, like, go Eternatus. And with the +1, special defense on Palkia, and Misty Terrain up, we should take a Dynamax Cannon really well. The Blastoise is just sitting there. I'm really not worried about that, and it is Eternatus. So they've got pressure. We still have one more turn of our Dynamax. Feeny here. I can Nature's Madness the Blastoise, but I think just doubling into Eternatus is probably my better play. I do not care about the Blastoise at all right now. So let's just Quake and Moonblast into that slot. You know, they could try to fake out, not fake out the move, but fake out as an action. And like double switch out into Incin if it's like Shuka Berry, but Dynamax Cannon, we'll see how much that does into Palkia. Heal Pulse was probably my other play this turn, as that still does quite a bit. But with another special defense boost from Max Quake, and honestly, this should do... Yeah, that just does way too much. We're just going to knock out the Eternatus. It doesn't look like that was a crit either. So that's just base damage. And we do get a Moonblast off. Perfect. And knowing that Feeny is faster than their Blastoise, it's going to be faster than their Incineroar as well, as the Blastoise stays asleep for another turn. Yeah, again, you know, this one, even faster than the first battle up to this point, as we've eliminated both the restricted Pokemon, completely wasted their Dynamax, and now... Yeah, I mean, now I click, like, Hydro Pump into the Incineroar and try to Heal Pulse my Palkia back up. If they fake out Palkia, I get to Heal Pulse with Feeny. If they fake out Feeny, then I potentially KO the Incineroar right here. They could also just, you know, run away, forfeit the battle, which would be absolutely fine by me too. So let's Heal Pulse. You know, I want to play fast, but I don't want to play stupid. So... yeah, battle's canceled. Quick one for the second here today, and we'll get on to the third, hopefully even faster. Alright, last battle of the day, and again, we fight a team that probably doesn't want to move as quickly as I'd like to in this video. The Clefairy is definitely really interesting, but outside of that, I mean, it looks pretty hyper offense, which is, I think, a really cool adaptation that Clefairy has made in Series 12. You know, it started out being like a partner to like a Kyogre Calyrex or a Palkia Calyrex. Like you might see Clefairy over Tapu Fini on this style of team back in like January, February. But now you're seeing it more on like the Calyrex-Shadow Riders, Zacians, Talonflame and Inteleon are both really interesting here. So, I mean, we've brought every Pokemon so far. I definitely bring both restricteds here. Palkia looks fantastic. I might even want to just lead Calyrex for a bunch of offensive pressure, but I am going to lead Palk. The question is, do I go Incineroar Palkia with Cali and P2? That feels like my best four, because Porygon 2 is a great switch in turn 1 to whatever they have. Helps stall out Dynamaxes. Plus, it's just another Trick Room setter, which you always want to see. I did want to mention, too, that I did look at the team after the last battle. I was able to check. It was Choice Specs Eternatus, so that's why it did so much, even with Misty Terrain up and +1 defense on Palkia. And it was Life Orb Physical Yveltal with Sky Attack as its only flying type move. Which, you know, it's interesting. You know, if nothing else, it's interesting. This is a lead where I do not want to switch out Palkia. I feel very, very comfortable in this spot. And I might just click Max Lightning into the Kyogre. I don't think they have any switch into that spot. Unless they bring Rillaboom out. I think that's their only electric resist. Yeah. So if I I don't know if I even need to fake out here. I think I can just go hard into Porygon 2 for the Incineroar, because I really don't want Incin to go down this early. And I can just click Max Lightning into the Kyogre. I don't think they'll see that coming. And again, we're trying to play quick. So we'll see how this turn 1 goes down. I think if they stay in with Kyogre, even if they max, we should be in a pretty good spot, because I think they should be most preoccupied with trying to stop me from clicking Trick Room. And what that would be is like a taunt from Talonflame. Yeah, they aren't going to switch out Kyogre unless they're min speed. So we get P2 in pretty safely. We do trace Drizzle, which doesn't matter. To be fair, Gale Wings wouldn't have mattered either. And a max straight up. Is that going to be Kyogre? I think probably. So if they max Kyogre, on this team comp, Assault Vest feels pretty likely. So we'll see if it's AV. If we do less than half, it's Assault Vest, basically. Because the Max Lightning from Life Orb Palkia is just going to KO a non-Dynamax Kyogre. And even if they're like AV with no bulk, which like I've seen here and there, I don't love it, but it does give you like some survivability, allows you to max in front of Regieleki a little bit safer. But let's see, as they are going to click Quick Guard, which, fine. I didn't click, Fake Out anyway. They're going to Geyser probably into the Instant slot, try to eliminate that. It does a ton. Yeah, that's... Porygon 2 is very bulky, but Kyogre is just so strong. And that could be Assault Vest. It could just be really, really bulky Kyogre without AV. Based on the damage they did to Porygon 2, I would think they could be... they could be like Mystic Water. So I am going to Trick Room this turn. I'm going to force them to either reveal Taunt with Talonflame, which is, pretty common. If they have Quick Guard, I don't know if they can fit Taunt onto the set, because you want Brave Bird, you want Flare Blitz, probably Will-O-Wisp and Quick Guard. If you don't have Protect, So we're just going to click Lightning again into this Kyogre. Even if they max Guard here, I'm not too scared, as it's Hurricane, so it's special. That probably KOs P2. It doesn't. And they're going to Geyser. Does that go into the Porygon 2 slot? Do they have to double up into that? And we just completely waste the Kyogre's Dynamax. Yes, they do knock out Porygon 2, but we knock out their Dynamax Pokemon. And so that's super nice for us. Trading a Dynamax Kyogre for a P2. Crit didn't matter, because even if it was a roll, we're in electric terrain, so it's not going to matter too much. We can just go back out to Incineroar this turn. They do have Quick Guard on Talonflame, which we have to be a little careful of. So no free Fake Outs, but I think they have to go Zacian here, or Inteleon, which is just going to get one-shot by a Max Lightning. So we go Incin. I think this turn we swap Incin out for our Calyrex. And we just Lightning into the Inteleon. They could protect that slot. I think they have to. But even if they protect, we're going to do a lot of damage. And if they don't protect, the Sash is probably on the Talonflame. So we'll get that KO. And if they switch out to Zacian, then we're going to do a ton to Zacian, which always is nice. So we do have Calyrex onto the field. It's the only Mon that we have left. It's the only Mon that we have brought to this battle that has Protect. So that's going to be important for us in the late game. Snipe Shot, yep, saving the Incineroar is very, very nice. That is a crit, probably Scope Lens. So I don't love that. But we are going to turn this into a... we are going to turn this into a 3v2. With it likely being Zacian in the back. How do I want to play this endgame? I think Palkia always beats Talonflame. And... Palkia always beats Talonflame. I think they have to... I think their play this turn would be like split their damage, you know, click a Play Rough into the Palkia slot and a Hurricane onto Calyrex. This is where losing P2 early is not great for me. What I can do is protect Calyrex and switch out into Incineroar for Palkia. So Cally's going to stick around next turn. We are going to get -1 onto the Zacian, and if they're not max attack, then we still have a pretty good chance of surviving a Play Rough on Palkia next time we bring it in. Assuming that they click Play Rough this turn with Zacian. But I think that they kind of have to. They Hurricane, it goes into the Calyrex slot, makes sense, and a Play Rough on the Incin. We're going to take that pretty well. We won't take a Sacred Sword, but now they have to... Yeah, now we can click Trick Room here. They have to Quick Guard. Let's see. I was thinking they have to Quick Guard so that I don't fake out Zacian, but they could also just Hurricane the Calyrex with Talonflame and Sacred Sword into Zacian. Or Sacred Sword into Incin. And I don't think I have a great way around that. If they do click Quick Guard this turn, I think we probably just win, but they do Hurricane. Yeah. If I could have gotten Trick Room up this game. They just click Play Rough again, though. Okay. So we do get the Parting Shot. Palkia is going to survive a Play Rough for sure this turn. As we get Polk back out onto the field. Our Incin feigns to any attack. Do we still have Rain? I feel like Rain probably goes away this turn. Yeah. So that means that a Hydro Pump won't KO Zacian. Electric Terrain disappears too. But what this also means is that we can get Trick Room up here. It might be too late. The question is who we fake out. Because their play would be like Quick Guard and Play Rough into Palkia. With their Zacian at -2 now, I know that we live a Play Rough with Palk. So I can click Fake Out pretty safely into Zacian. I do want to Fake Out though. Well, if they click Quick Guard, I'm not doing anything. So let's actually Flare Blitz into Zacian and go for Trick Room. Because I think they just go Hurricane, they miss, which is very big, and a Play Rough, I know we live that. That's super, super, super good. Now the question is, are they going to hit their Play Roughs, and am I going to call... Are they going to hit their Play Roughs and Hurricanes, and am I going to call the Protect this turn? Because I get Trick Room up. They still have priority Hurricane from Talonflame, but it's only 70% accurate. The Zacian, the very logical play is Zacian Protect and just click Hurricane with Talonflame. I assume that they have, the Focus Sash on Talonflame. Earth Power is going to KO Zacian, so I just Hydro Pump to the Talonflame this turn. Because Zacian probably protects. Yep, we get the Protect call right. They are going to click their priority Hurricane. It is going to hit. Shouldn't do too much. No confusion. And I think we go down to Life Orb anyway. So that's unfortunate for this game to end. As, it would have been nice for us to hit ourselves in confusion going on our own terms. But, yeah, at this point, we have to Earth Power Zacian. we go down to one more tick of Life Orb recoil anyway, so even if they missed every Hurricane in the world from here on out, that was still going to be the game. So unfortunate way for us to end, but still pretty quick. So we accomplished the goal of the video at least, as we got through the games pretty quickly, and still looking to return to that 3-0 episode. We'll get there next time for sure, but let's just go clicking out into the, well, let's see, get the Ball Mushroom, and yeah, I was going to say, if we can check their team, because Yveltal, Focus Sash, Talonflame, they do have Taunt, so I was able to get that one right. Zacian has Crunch over Sacred Sword, so Play Rough was their best move to hit the Incineroar. It is Scope Lens with Snipe Shot. They have Focus Energy too. That looks like a random battle set. I've been playing a lot of like Gen 8 random battles, singles, monotype random battles, and that's exactly the Inteleon set. Specs Kyogre. So the max turn 1 didn't do too much, but they have no bulk, so we just got a low roll with the first max lightning. But yeah, we'll get to the rental code here and get this video out. Alright, there you have it for probably the last time on this channel, the Calyrex team that I used to win the Skydrop Series tournament. Had a ton of fun with it today, probably more fun than I had a couple of the other videos, just because got to play a little bit different style with it. Again, playing fast, wasn't able to go 3-0, which a little bit unfortunate, but the whole goal of the video is to make things quick. So I think we accomplished that goal pretty well. Again, I've said pretty much everything that there is to say about this team on some of the other videos, so you can go check those out next. But thank you so much for watching through the whole video. Again, rental code on the screen right here, poke and paste in the description below. Leave a like, leave a subscription, helps me out a ton. Lets me know that people are enjoying the content I'm making, and just really motivates me to do some more. And on that same note, question of the day, let me know what Pokemon you'd like to see me use in future videos here on this channel. Again, got a couple ideas, want to keep those kind of under wraps for now as we move past some of these teams, but always helps get more ideas from the community. So really excited for that, looking forward to the future, and again, thank you so much for watching through the whole video, and I'll see you next time.